Look, I'm not going to waste your time. I've been where you are right now. I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is a guide on how to not be that NPC in the eyes of a girl and become a head above the people around you. Imagine most people are on their way to a boring and monotonous life. Imagine waking up every day, going to a job you hate, coming home and going to bed only to wake up and do it all over again. That's not living, that's just existing. But you have a choice to live differently, to do what you want to do. Our world is organized in such a way that we are dictated how to live. School, university, work, retirement. People are afraid to do something unique, afraid to stand out, and so they follow this conventional but miserable path. But now is a completely different time. We have the internet, we have opportunities that our parents couldn't even imagine. We can make money doing what we love. I want to help you get out of this unfortunate cycle and start living a fulfilling life. Let's start simple. Let's talk about the term NPC. In video games, NPCs are characters that are programmed to behave in a certain way. They always do the same thing, say the same thing. Unfortunately, in real life, there are also people who behave like NPCs. They live by a pattern. They don't take initiative or think about their actions. And if you think you're not like that at all, watch this video to the end and do some analysis, after which you'll start doubting your words. Why does this happen? People are afraid of being judged, afraid to do something unusual or weird. Society imposes its norms and expectations on us, and we start following those rules to avoid conflict or judgment. We become predictable, living according to the scripts others have written for us. This can be seen everywhere from the schoolyard to the workplace. Cultural influences also play a role. In cultures with a high degree of collectivism, people are more likely to follow common rules and behaviors, which promotes NPC-like behavior. Let's look at a few more factors. Upbringing and education play an important role. From an early age, we are instilled with certain behaviors through the education system and family upbringing. If the upbringing was strict and demanding to follow the rules, a person may develop the habit of acting automatically as another person tells him or her to, without creativity and initiative. Work environment and corporate norms also have an impact. Some companies encourage strict adherence to instructions and rules, which leads employees to act mechanically and routinely, avoiding initiative and creativity. And then the brains of these employees go crazy for lack of any right of choice. Media and mass culture actively shape behavior patterns. Television shows, movies, and video games often offer standard behavioral scripts that people begin to copy. Technology also influences us. With the rise of social media and gadgets, people become passive observers rather than active participants in life. All this pressure from society and the desire to avoid judgment can lead people to prefer to act in a pattern rather than express their individuality. But this is not the only enemy. The internet, which could be a source of knowledge, often turns into a source of useless information and distractions. Constant distraction and stimulation prevent us from thinking critically. We waste time on social media, watch endless videos, and lose the ability to focus on the really important things. Agree, it's not even halfway through the video, and you've probably already recognized yourself. In general, you don't have to answer this, I already know that, so let's get straight to my personal advice on how I dealt with it. Literally, a year ago, I read every news story, every piece of information, absorbed every bit of information. Even if there was some bacchanal going on in a neighboring town, such as robberies, muggings, carjackings, I read everything and was interested in it. It had a big impact on my work, productivity, and mental state. The only right decision was to stop reading the news altogether. The most important news will be told to you by the people closest to you. Everything else is not worth your time and attention. The same goes for social networks. Forget about your classmate or friend. Unsubscribe from her social networks. Forget about the hundreds of people who only want to entertain you. Remember, focus is on you. You have one life. Come on. Being constantly distracted by social media and internet content causes us to lose our ability to focus on important tasks. For example, how many times have you started to do something and then accidentally got stuck on TikTok or Instagram for an hour? This constant shifting of attention keeps us from being productive and reaching our goals. What strategies can be used to avoid negative environmental and media influences? First, limit your time on social media. Set a timer on your phone to monitor how much time you spend online. Second, filter your information. Only subscribe to resources that really benefit you and help you grow. This is very important. I've been in the whole 21st century trap myself. Listened to my parents, went to school, planned to go to university, but it wasn't the life I wanted. I wanted more. I started doing video editing, creating content, and developing my skills. I have several YouTube channels, my own company that makes animations. I chose to live my life the way I want to, not the way society dictates. Pornography and video games were also part of my life. They gave a false sense of fulfillment, taking me into a virtual world. But I realized that this was not life. I decided to change my thinking, rewire my mind, and find myself anew. And that changed everything. I started to change when I realized I was living an ordinary life. It was scaring me. I didn't want to be ordinary, I wanted to be free. From that moment, I started learning video editing, creating content, and evolving. Today, I am a happy person that I chose this path. My journey to change started with the realization that I was living as an NPC. I started noticing that I wasn't happy with my life and realized that I needed to make a change. Now, dear friends, let's break down point by point how you can start on the same path I took. And the first step is developing a growth mindset. A fixed mindset limits us. People are afraid to admit their mistakes and keep doing things that don't make a profit. Developing a growth mindset helps you to not be afraid of failure, learn from mistakes, and move forward. Try doing something new every week. This will help you develop new skills and expand your horizons. For example, start playing guitar or knitting, constantly try new things in your life. Controlling your ego is important too. Admit your mistakes, learn from them, and don't be afraid to seek constructive criticism. Focus on the learning process, not the end results. This will help you grow and succeed. Again, if these are empty words to you, here's an example from my life that proves that everything I say is really important. I recently invested about $8,000 to launch a new animation channel, but one of the competitors killed my channel and I failed. A person with a fixed mindset would have kept trying, spending more money and time. But I recognized my mistake and decided to move on. This is the experience I gained, and it helped me to become more aware of which niches I need to be more careful in. Also, this experience, although it was negative, I gained a lot of acquaintances who are now working on my other channels. The second step is to increase my self-awareness. Self-awareness is incredibly important for personal growth. It helps regulate emotions, improve relationships, and achieve goals. The monkey mind is a stream of multifaceted thoughts that interferes with concentration. Mindfulness practices such as journaling, nature walks, and meditation help improve self-awareness. Meditation, by the way, actually reduces stress depression. It improves concentration and promotes deep self-awareness. I myself have noticed more than once how meditation has helped me cope with difficulties. For example, when I was faced with negative comments or stressful situations in the beginning of my journey, meditation helped me stay calm and centered. It's a simple and effective way to improve your mental health. Meditation is not just about sitting in silence and thinking about something good. It is a practice that requires discipline and regularity. Start with 5-10 minutes a day and gradually increase the time. You'll notice your thoughts becoming clearer and your emotions becoming more in control. Let's take a look at a few meditation techniques, but before you skip, listen, I'm being completely serious right now. It will really help you. One of the most effective is breathing meditation. Focus on your breathing. Feel the air going in and out of your body. This will help calm your mind and improve your concentration. You can read more about meditations and my personal practices on my Patreon. I'll leave the link in the description. Another technique is mindfulness meditation. It consists of focusing completely on the present moment without distracting yourself with extraneous thoughts and worries. Try during a walk in nature to simply observe the world around you without evaluating or analyzing it. This will help you better understand yourself and your emotions. Thoughts will unobtrusively begin to pop into your head and talk about solving this or that problem themselves. And the final third step, deep and critical thinking. NPCs are not prone to deep and critical thinking. They are taught from childhood to be ordinary, standard, and rely on other people to make important decisions for them. I often, when I can't find the answer to a question, don't run to friends or parents for advice, but find answers and inspiration while walking in nature. Observing the world around me helps me find new ideas and solutions for my projects. It's an easy and affordable way to improve your thinking. Let's look at a few strategies for developing deep and critical thinking. First, read books. Reading develops our imagination and ability to analyze information. Second, ask yourself questions. Why is this happening? How does it work? What if we tried differently? This will help you see the world from different angles and find non-standard solutions. Well, now let's talk about girls. What do they think of you when you act like an NPC? Girls notice it, and believe me, it doesn't make us more attractive in their eyes. Why is this important? Because understanding how others see us helps us become a better person. The main thing is not to dwell on it. Girls notice your insecurity, lack of initiative, and formulaic behavior. This can scare them off at the first stage of acquaintance. It is important to realize that the first impression is formed in the first few seconds of the meeting. If you behave insecurely or predictably, the girl may decide that you are not interesting and it is not worth wasting your time. Show confidence, be original, and don't be afraid to show your personality. The last thing you should care about is shame. Girls want to see a man next to them who can make decisions and take responsibility, and not hoping for a man higher and certainly on her. You should be for her as an indestructible rock. A trivial example, you date a girl but you always wait for her to suggest where to go and what to do, or you avoid making decisions and always delegate that task to her. This can be very annoying and gives the impression that you are not interested in the relationship. You may say, yo Mike, why should I be the one making the decision of where we go? Guys, as sad as it sounds, we're still animals and our brains still haven't had time to adjust to the modern world. So on an animal level, always in a pack, the male has been in charge of where the tribe goes, what they do and eat. The male is the prey, the male makes the important decisions, and the girl is the keeper of the hearth. Of course, there are exceptions to everything, but we rely on the solid majority. Touching further on what girls like, it's definitely goals and ambition. This is what makes a man attractive in a girl's eyes. When you don't have goals and aspire for something more, it can give the impression that you are helpless and have no prospects. Ambition shows that you are willing to work on yourself and your future. Girls want to see a man around them who knows what he wants out of life and strives for it. If you don't have ambition and goals, it makes you less attractive. Work on your goals, set goals, and strive to achieve them. Girls also don't like it when you constantly question and seek approval from others. It gives the impression of weakness and insecurity. Examples of situations: you constantly ask others for their opinion before you do something, or avoid making decisions on your own. This can be very annoying and shows that you are not confident. Learn to make decisions and not be afraid of responsibility. Emotional maturity is an important quality for any relationship. Girls want to see a man around them who can handle their emotions and support them in difficult moments. When you lack emotional maturity, it gives the impression that you are not ready for a serious relationship. Emotional maturity includes the ability to understand your emotions, control them, and support others. It means you can handle challenges and not let your emotions control your behavior. Develop emotional maturity to become more attractive and confident. Laziness and lack of desire for self-development is another sign of an NPC. Be active, take initiative, strive for development, and don't be afraid to take responsibility. This will help you not only in relationships, but also in life in general. Girls want to see next to them a man who is ready to work on himself and strive for the best. Now that you know how to escape the NPC life and achieve success, it's time to take action. Don't wait for things to change on their own. Start changing your life today. Do what you love and strive for success. Subscribe to the channel, give us likes, and share your opinion in the comments. And remember, success is foggy, and that's why it's foggy, so that not everyone gets it. See you soon.